Ready?
Yep. Okay. This is Edward, Mortimer, and Joe Kucia's VR Project 2. We created a Nyctophobia simulator. Right now you can see Joe about to interact with one of our game objects, which is a plug. On collision, the plug will plug into itself, and this is a requirement to complete the stage. I have some auxiliary controls here, so I can make the environment brighter or much darker. Joe has a flashlight that he can use to get around, which I can control the intensity of.
Oh, now my screen.
To his right, there's a switch which he can activate, and this will cause the door over there to open, leading to the exit.
I don't like the screen face thing. Why is that?
Now I can send him to the next level. See, we have a survey here. I also have beam width control, so I can make his flashlight incredibly wide or really narrow. And I can also cause the intensity of the light to decay over time with this slider. And setting it to 0 will cause no decay. There are 3 levels to the game. Each level is progressively more complicated in terms of what is included in the map, but they all have the same general concept of flipping the required switches and interacting with the required plugs in order for the door to be opened. Our player can use locomotion via a raycaster, which is controlled with the left controller, and the flashlight can be turned on or off using the left controller. The game tracks some different variables, such as how long it takes you to complete a stage and how much you actually used your flashlight during the completion of the stage. And these are persistent variables, so they can be accessed after the session and in between scenes.
This is claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the final level of the game, we attempted to implement a second phobia with claustrophobia. As you can see, some of the hallways are much more narrow than in previous levels, and the height of the ceiling also decreases in certain areas to get a sense of feeling constrained and trapped. This also helps contribute to the maze-like nature of the final stage. The sliders control everything in real time, so if Joe were a patient and he started to become uncomfortable, I can make everything a little bit lighter, or if I felt that he was progressing too quickly, I can make everything as dark as I wanted. I can also really just sort of reduce the actual usability of his flashlight, and if I turn the decay up for long enough, his flashlight will actually become almost completely unusable. Yeah. Once the final stage is reached, the command that I would normally use to continue the game will restart the simulation on the first level. Alright.
That's actually me going back to the entrance at the end there.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the door again.
Yeah, I couldn't beat our own game.